time to continue reading the not-so-thrilling tales of two idiot girls who are being held hostage by two sociopath boys. Torn Between Alphas, Chapter 36. So now they think that the third-party wolf who had tried to kidnap Lola and Kelly is stalking them. Like everything else, this somehow warrants a huge fight between Lola and Kelly. No, girls, not like there's nothing else going on in your life right now. You got time for this. This isn't about getting out, Kel. You think that's what I'm worried about? I'm worried about your dumb ass will go suicidal again to save me because I can't get through to you. If you die, I'm not going to be safe. I'm not going to feel better. If you die, everything gets worse for me. Zero self-awareness. Does Lola honestly think that this is helping? I get that they're in a bad situation, but I don't think that Lola understands that her saying nonsense like this to Kelly isn't going to stop Kelly from wanting to kill herself. Especially not when Lola is half of the reason why Kelly wants to kill herself in the first place. As you might imagine, this quickly launches into an even bigger argument. I get that the girls are scared out of their minds, but honestly, if they so much as bothered to sit down and think things through for 2 seconds, they might be able to actually survive to tell about this. But the problem is that they don't, and instead spend their time fighting about dumb things. Them trying to escape to the airport was literally the smartest thing that they did this entire time, even if it didn't work. Lola leaves and is instantly replaced by Xavier. Kelly talks some about Violet calling her a kid, which I know that you're so big and mighty what with being in college, but she acts no more maturely than a 12-year-old. So, pot, kettle, etc., etc. Xavier brings up about how the other wolves will kill them if they find Kelly and Lola unprotected, which is great and everything, but Xavier and Colton had been holding the girls hostage long before the girls found out about their status as werewolves. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. Kelly brings up the third-party wolf, and this requires Kelly spelling it out for Xavier like he's a 2-year-old. She is of the opinion that the wolf wouldn't hurt her, but literally nobody else agrees with her. Probably because this girl keeps showing over and over how suicidal that she is, so it's hard to take her seriously about things like murder wolves. 50 minutes to unlock the next chapter. Chapter 37. Kelly mopes around and thinks about her current situation without actually adding anything to what's happening. It makes for super amazing reading, let me tell you. Sarcasm. Xavier shows up, and simply the two of them being in the same room together is enough to spark a fight, so they do that. I can't even be donkeyed to tell you what it is that they're fighting about this time because it's going to become irrelevant again soon. It basically boils down to the most base plot of the story. Let us leave? No. Kelly finally snaps and randomly decides that if she has happy times with Xavier, he'll let them go. However, after Kelly explains this to Xavier, after luring him into her room, he tells her that he was waiting for consent. Xavier was waiting for consent is probably going to be the punchline of a million jokes from here on out. The man who has been holding Kelly and Lola against the world for about a month, who has been emotionally torturing Kelly to the point where she's now tried to kill herself on 2 different occasions, was waiting for Kelly's consent. They start making out as if that trust this author to somehow make what should be a fairly straightforward scene and fill it with even more useless dialogue between them. I'm at the point where it shouldn't even surprise me if something interrupted them. We are literally 37 chapters into this, and the plot has literally not advanced since the girls got to Oregon. 53 minutes until the next chapter. Chapter 38. And while I wait 5 minutes for the app to take me to the next chapter, will they actually do it or not? Your predictions now. The chapter opens with them getting into a fight over Xavier's weird possessiveness over Kelly and literally wanting to keep her forever. Caps lock rage included. I understand where the author thinks that she was going with this idea of finding somebody and being with them forever. It's romantic. But as I keep circling back to, Xavier's relationship with Kelly literally began because Colton bought Kelly like a happy times worker, and that is the absolute tip of the poop iceberg. Xavier has been emotionally abusive towards Kelly, and that thing, what was it again? Oh yeah, how about Colton and Xavier have been keeping Lola and Kelly hostage for a month now? And then, because we all knew that they wouldn't actually do it, Xavier's like, okay, so I'm out of here. And like everything else, this sparks yet another tedious argument. Yawn. Pick new things to obsess over if you're going to give us the same thing for 38 chapters. But they do get into bed together and fall asleep. 55 minutes. The top comment is so funny to me. It's talking about how all of the top comments are usually complaining about how terrible that this story is, how none of the characters have any personality or depth to them, about how we've been going around in circles for 38 chapters now, complaining about how they actually like it, and if you don't like this story, then leave. And I get it. I really do. I get that it's frustrating to have something that you've been unironically enjoying to be trashed on by haters, which I know that a lot of people are like, about me saying something like that. But my main problem with people complaining about the complaining is just this story might as well just be nothing but copy-paste of the same chapter over and over again. The commenter talks about the build-up, but the problem is that slow-burn stories are usually, building up to something instead of every single chapter feeling like it's hit the reset button. Every chapter! I've completely and utterly lost track of all the times that Callie and Lola were almost going to do it, but then they stopped themselves. Their arguments are inherently meaningless because in the next chapter, they're going to fight over condensation on a glass of water or something. Rinse, repeat. This isn't a slow burn. This is a broken record. Phew. Writing out that argument took up a good 5 minutes now, so now we're down to 49 minutes instead. Whee! Also worth noting that my commentary about the user comment took up more time than me actually talking about the chapter itself. Chapter 39. Instead of actually, going to sleep, Xavier and Kelly have yet another argument, this time over the physical pain of a woman's first time. And I just want to pause and say, it doesn't have to hurt. Even if you've done it a million times before, if the woman isn't prepared, it can still hurt. A lot of the pain that women talk about usually stems from men who basically shove it in. That's not even a euphemism, they literally just shove it in. And thanks to all other women who also had encounters with experienced men, they think that this is normal. It's not. Stop accepting mediocre to even bad bedroom encounters, ladies. This has been a health PSA from Preconnotation Points. I can't go into a lot of details on YouTube, but if you wanted to hit me up for more info, please reach out on another social media platform. But then again, I don't know what I expected from a writer who thinks that women selling their blocked caves is acceptable message. This screams nothing but internalized misogyny to me. But we weren't going to unpack any of that, and we'll just burn the entire suitcase instead. And then they argue about why it is that they haven't done it already, because we've come back to this yet again. They eventually start making out a little, and then the chapter ends. And yes, all of these chapters are insanely short, but I feel like this one was even shorter than usual. And that's it. 4 more chapters read. Sayonara.